So part of my inquiry project is getting kids outside, which I love. But I think the most exciting part is seeing the native species grow back, and you can actually see it instead of just all invasive species.
The kids that like you're seeing outside now that you're doing this inquiry project, is it like the rest of your family? Is it kids from your neighborhood?
I've led some kids from this school and brought in a few friends from just outside of school.
Yeah, just the most exciting part is really getting my stuff out there, seeing people's eyes light up when they see my jewelry, and like they actually genuinely like it.
Who have you sold your pieces to?
I went to my first pop-up.
How was your experience when you were doing your pop-up stand?
It was pretty good. I met some really nice people, established some bonds with people. Also, some of my family want pieces, and sometimes I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I'm hesitant to make them pay money for their pieces because they're family. And I've also given a lot of pieces to friends as gifts.
I think it's really cool what you're doing and that you're starting to sell your stuff.
The most exciting part of my project is probably learning about different dog breeds.
Out of all the dogs you've researched and looked, which do you think would be your favorite to train?
Probably golden retrievers. They're good listeners.
So would you say then is training with treats the easiest way to train dogs?
I personally think it's the easiest way.
I guess the most exciting part about my project is kind of the build up right before I learn something big.
Do you have a favorite set of animals that have a common ancestor?
It's two animals, the loris and the pado. They each live in different continents pretty much. And I'd figure out who their common ancestor was, how they evolved differently to be the animal they are currently today.
My favorite part of my inquiry project so far was interviewing people and learning about their different connections with their favorite music and how when they got older they listened to different types of music.
Different generations have very different music taste. I've noticed my dad really likes rock and roll music, and I like hip hop music more.
So far, I think I've interviewed 8 people, and people from lots of different ages, so I can get a different variety of answers.
How do you use the interviews you took and from that put them into your article?
I have a recorder that records the entire interview, and then after the interview, I go back and listen to my recordings, write down the questions and their answers, and then I'll just use the answers to those questions to put them in the article.
I think the most exciting part about my project is to have an idea and then actually being able to go in and make it. And the logos are really simple, but there's actually so much work and creativity that goes behind it. I made this little logo thing right here, and then I made a shirt that says Inquirers of 2021. I could put the logo right here, and then
Yeah, they look very cool. I like the idea with the magnifying glass.
Yeah, that was a really cool idea.
What logos do you want to make in the future?
I feel making a shoe company logo would be pretty cool.
I've I guess never really met someone who can expand on a topic so much as my mentor, and he can it kind of just rolls off his head some of the stuff he says.
I have never met a grown-up who knows so much about invasive species and is so connected with Rock Creek Park before, and that's really different for me.
Even though he's a 20-year-old in China, which is across the world, it's been really cool to have someone to talk to who's not a kid about things that I like to do.
It's looking at a role model that's in the position where you want to be in the future.
It's just fun to look at him and see where he is in life, and sometimes think, well, I could be there.
She always asks me first what are my ideas before she suggests things, and then based on what I say, she suggests what she thinks would be a good idea, and then asks me what I think about it. So she takes in consideration my thoughts.
It's been really beneficial to have a relationship like that. Mercer talked a lot about bonds. That really resonated with me, because I feel like that's a big part of the project.
Thanks, Beckett. I guess on what Kennedy said, with Kennedy's project, she's learning other people's opinions and writing them down and expressing them to people in public.
Thank you, Mercer. Something that really resonated with me is kind of what Zachary said a little bit when he was talking about like making like logos and how some people just look at them and they look kind of easy to make, but it kind of just makes you think that sometimes you see stuff where you're like, oh, that's not that hard, but in reality it took a lot of work to do it.
I think what like Mercer said about like having like feeling good when you like when he sold his piece to someone and like feeling like accomplished. I feel like I resonated with that because when I like make logos and I feel like they look good and like other people compliment them, I feel accomplished and I feel good.